teeth. But for some reason, that's always a big priority that I hear from European women.
That's true. A lot of get teeth done, plastic surgery, but I never had anything with my teeth. I just like normal teeth.
Yeah, well, I would just wonder if the reason for that is because it's so common that when you see a man or a woman with good teeth, you're like, wow, that's an exception to the rule.
It's a little bit idolized as well, yeah. It's like, you have to have good teeth, they have to be pearl white, they go to Turkey all the time, my friends go all the time just for their teeth. Yeah, it's true what you're saying.
X?
Acting nonchalant is a big ick. As well as not being confident, so there's kind of like a spectrum there, like can't be nonchalant and like not care about your partner, be too confident, but also don't be insecure.
Okay.
Or overly insecure, like at least try to project confidence.
You said acting nonchalant.
Yeah.
So how does that look like?
Like acting like you don't care about your partner, or acting like you don't care when they have a concern, or letting them care more about your relationship is being nonchalant.
Isn't that the best dynamic, though? When the girl cares more than the guy?
That's the worst.
That's the worst. Do you prefer it when the guy's more into you than you're into him?
I think it should be equal.
Or equal? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody here have a preference there? You prefer the guy be more into you than you're into him, or the reverse?
More into him.
You more into him?
Are you more into him?
I think it only works when the guy's more into you.
Okay. What do you think?
I like refuse to chase a man.
Refused? Okay.
I agree.
So more into you than the reverse?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want them to be more into me.
I like whenever I'm more into them.
I'm more into him.
More into him.
When he's pursuing, he's more into me.
Okay. A couple different answers here. We've had this conversation on the show before. I definitely think it's the case that relationships seem to work out better when the woman's more into the man than the reverse. Also, I'm not even sure if I believe some of you, because it's like there's probably plenty of guys who you turn down who are like really, really into you. So I think this added level of interest doesn't change your attraction to them.
I think it has to be like a certain amount, so not like overly, but also like enough that it's like desirable. And also, along with what you said, I had the opposite experience. So with my ex, I was putting in way more effort. I was way more into him than he was into me. And
Like you were simping for him, kind of?
no, it's just that I stayed with him when he was acting uninterested. And
Okay.
yeah, that's not how it should be.
Wait, you said you were putting in way more effort.
Yeah,
Like,
so
So how so?
like I would try to spend, like he never took me on dates,
Mhm.
or he stopped.
So he
that
used to
kind of
take you on
thing.
dates,
Yeah,
and then he stopped.
yeah.
And then were you taking him on dates?
No, but I would try to, and he would have like some excuse for it.
Okay.
I think like for sure, like when you're dating, I like for like the man to, well, I mean like, you know, when my husband, he was pursuing me, and then when we got married, it switched and it worked out great for us.
Well, I don't know if we heard the rest of.
I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
mean
you
to
didn't cut me
you
off.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Was there
kind of
more?
it. No.
Okay, but you said you put in more effort. So he used to take you on dates, but then he stopped, and you tried, but then he was.
Yeah, so I feel like there's like a lack of effort on his part, or
Okay.
lack of pursuing. So
How long were you guys dating for?
about a year.
This was the 1 year guy?
Yeah.
Okay. And you okay with your nails over there?
Sorry.
So, how soon into the relationship did he stop taking you out on dates?
Some months in.
Isn't that pretty normal though? Like, I think that's pretty
No.
normal. You get comfortable.
Not too comfortable.
So when you were first dating, he was taking you out? Like for dinner? What was he doing?
Yeah, like normal couple stuff, going out,
Mini golf?
like dinners.
Dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you guys living together?
No, this was in high school.
Oh,
so
high
I mean,
school,
a lot of it, like
Hmm.
underlying, is just immaturity.
Sure.
But yeah.
Isn't that kind of normal though? Like there's the courtship and then, okay, well, we're boyfriend, girlfriend. Now we can just like kick it and chill and stay inside and do nothing. Isn't that that's normal, right? What kind of relationships y'all been in?
I think there should be a balance of both, where you can kick it and do nothing, and then you also go out on dates at the same time. And there is effort from both parties that both are participating in, because you just like hanging out with each other.
What? I don't know. I think after like 3 dates, as a man, you should just kind of stop putting effort in.
I think it's a woman's job as well to put effort in. Why would a man take you on dates if you give him a headache or anything at all?
You know what?
you show
I want to retract my last statement. After the first date, you should stop putting effort in.
Really?
As the man.
That's how you get cheated on. Girls get bored,
but
guys
it's
get
a
bored.
woman's job as well, right? To surprise a man, take him on a date sometimes. If you're in a relationship, if he takes you out on a date, would you go? Then you can still have a date together.
Would I go?
Yeah, you say you have to stop as a man doing dates, but if she asks you out on a date, like, hey, I still love you, we've been inside for a month, let's go out.
Well, I'm pretty introverted and I'm a homebody, so.
All right, if she put on the candles, orders dinner, it's still a date, right? You do not have to go out for a date. You can have
we stay
a good
in.
movie.
Yeah.
Then it's
Game
still a
of
date,
Thrones,
right? You do not have
House
to.
of Dragon, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you do
The
not have to go
Sopranos.
out for a date, then it's still a date.
DoorDash, it's perfect. Yeah.
Then it's still a date, right? So you still do little dates.
Well, I
you
think
spend
when a
time
girl,
together.
Yeah, but I think when a girl thinks of a date, it's like we're gonna go out.
No, not all the time.
We're
I think
going out.
time is very expensive. It's the most expensive
Yeah, but it's
thing.
just spending time together a date.
I think my
I
point
think so
was
because you're
that
spending something very expensive. Yeah.
Go ahead.
you should be like demonstrating effort. So even if you are staying inside, like do something that demonstrates putting effort into your
Put on that
relationship.
stupid candle. It's fine.
I do.
Put on some
I
lingerie.
demonstrate effort all the time. I invite her over to my place.
Yeah, that's effort, right?
That is effort.
It is.
Yeah,
And if she puts
I'm
on some hot lingerie
text-
for you, that's a date too.
I text, my thumbs, they get tired, come
That's
over.
effort. So you do the
today.
effort.
Huh?
So you do the effort.
I put
Then
in
it's a
effort.
woman's
You're
job
right.
to make the day of the date better. If you invite her over, you're
You know
dating.
what? I want to get the women's feedback on this. I think this is a great date. I invite a girl over to do a laundry date and a clean my room date.
Sure.
And we should show the bow. And by that, I don't mean like we do it together. I just do something else while you do it for
You're
me.
seriously dating?
Huh?
You're seriously dating at that point?
Very seriously.
Oh, yeah, I would
if
do
she's
it.
willing to do that for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
First
you're the
date,
man.
she should do my laundry.
Yeah, you're the man.
First date.
I would.
First date, she should do my laundry.
I would.
Hold on. Women will have sex on the first date, but she can't do my laundry?
I would.
Hold on.
I would, darling, I would.
Wait, Nicolette, you've had a one-night stand, right? Think about the football guys.
This is your catchphrase
So
right now, the
you
football.
allowed them to be inside of you, but you wouldn't fold their laundry?
Not on the first date.
You had carnal
Okay,
knowledge. You
I was-
had carnal knowledge on the first date, Nicolette,
I wouldn't fold their clothes on the first date.
but you would let their penis inside you?
Absolutely, because I'm getting something out of that.
Yes, she's also getting something out of folding my laundry.
What?
Me being pleased with her.
Satisfaction.
Well, I want to be pleased.
Let's do the bow video. Let's play the bow video. This is my ex-girlfriend. We broke up, but I filmed this. Go ahead, Nick, in my apartment. Boom! Huge bow. Check that out. She practiced that.
Wait, that's your ex-girlfriend?
That's my ex-girlfriend, yeah. I had her, yeah, so that's my, she's getting my clothes, laundry. The dinner's ready. I came home from a long day of podcasting, and she's got my beer ready. I was upset with her that with the tomatoes, I don't like tomatoes, but she, not even cut tomato, just a bunch of tomatoes. One more time, let's see the bow. Boom, huge.
You're gonna die, Brian.
Wait, why am I gonna die?
After the last podcast, remember I did a bow for everybody on stream? Actually,
I want to go home.
I did
I
it
remember.
recently to a guy.
How did it go?
He laughed and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Did it work?
Well, I mean, he laughed, but I did it wrong. You said I did it like.
No, you don't do it. It has to be like meek, hands here,
Like
Kinda
a prison pose.
Angelic right now.
Submissive and bow.
Like submissive.
I don't know.
hands.
It came like as an instinct. I just did it. He was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, and so did he like it?
I mean, he did not like it.
Oh, wait.
I guess he liked it probably.
See, it works.
It worked.
Listen, all the ladies here at the table, you might not want to do it. I'm just giving you some advice. Next time you're with a guy who you really like, just hit him with a bow.
Oh, well.
As soon as I
No,
land in
not
Dallas.
a bow. Won't do the bow.
No, I'm not gonna do the bow.
Why won't you do a bow?
It's degrading.
Wait, hold on.
If a man is
It
paying
is
for the
not
house,
degrading.
pays for everything, and just expects a little bow when he gets home, and he pays for everything, he makes you secure, you do not have to work, you do not do shit in the house. He
You
does
know- wait,
everything.
What
You-
does the
What you
bow
do?
do for you that like making dinner wouldn't do for you?
Like
Oh, she has to do that too.
And what's the difference between bowing and getting on your knees?
a lot.
You can be on your knees, you can courtesy for that man as well.
What's the difference?
Get your mind out of the gutter,
Okay,
Nicolette.
okay.
So, really quick to you. I think in your pre-show notes you mentioned like you believe marriage is really important, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I know there's like a cultural component here, but I assume you want your future boyfriend to propose to you.
Yeah.
Will this involve him getting down on one knee?
If you want to, yeah.
Well, typically that's what men
Typically,
do, right?
yeah. It's
Isn't getting
traditional.
like getting down on a knee and like looking up? Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Please marry me. Wait, what was the word you used? It's degrading? Did you say degrading? Was it
for
degrading?
women to bow to a man, yes.
I think it's degrading for men to get down on one knee and spend 3 months' salary on a wedding ring. Please be with me. That's degrading.
Disagree.
Hold
Here's
on.
why.
Wait, hold on. But what burns more calories, kneeling or the bow?
It doesn't matter what born.
Just think about it though. It takes more effort to kneel. I have bad knees too.
I think a bow.
I got bad knees.
I think a bow is more like worship. Like when I think of a bow, I think I'm worshiping this person.
What's wrong?
You are. It is your partner for the rest of your life
I'm
till
not
you
gonna
die.
worship him. The only person I worship and will bow before is God, and like God in heaven. Like I'm not gonna bow before anybody else. No man, no person.
It's
Just
a
God.
religious thing, but I will
Wait,
say.
hold on. But wait,
You do not adore
if
him.
your husband, you're going to be submissive to your husband, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he says, bow for me.
If you look at the context of the scripture, if you're gonna go there,
Andrew.
and you have a husband that is
Phone
telling
a
you to
friend.
do something that is against the will of God,
I'm a Christian and I would
you do
bow.
not have to do that.
Andrew, what is the ecclesiastical, theological, like, can a Christian man ask his wife to bow? Is it?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Copacetic.
so why would I don't understand what would the restriction be? There's Christians who bow to their priests, Christians who bow to God. Now, I just have to ask you: are you to submit to your husband as you would unto God?
Yeah.
And do you bow to God?
Yes, I bow to God, but my
Okay,
husband
so
is
then
not
if
my
you
God.
submit to your husband as you would unto God, and your husband asks you to bow, why would you not bow?
Because in my opinion, I think bowing is more of like worship type of movement, of like a heart posture, than it is more respect. Like I get where you guys are coming from, like it's a sign
You
of
mean,
respect,
well, wait,
but I don't think it's a sign
I'm
of
super
respect.
confused. I want to untangle these thoughts, so
Okay.
I have them untangled. Are you to submit to your husband as you would unto the Lord?
My husband is not my God, but I submit.
That's not what I asked you.
Let me
Are
let
you
me
to
explain
submit
my
as
let
you
me
would unto the Lord?
let me explain my thought on this.
Okay.
When you submit to the Lord, you're submitting to His will and what God is telling you to do, right? Like that's what you're referring
Like
to.
if he tells you to bow, are you going to bow?
To God, yes. There's nothing that
Okay,
God
well then
would
I
ask me
understand.
to do.
Are you to submit to your husband as you would unto the Lord or not?
Yes, but my husband is sinful, and if he asks me to do a sinful thing,
Why is
I
it?
will
It's not
do
sinful
it.
to bow to your husband. So Asian Christians who bow are sinful.
I would say that's more cultural. I'm talking about bowing.
Well,
in
then it's not
my
sinful in another.
sense
Wait.
of it.
Hang on. So again, we have to untangle these thoughts. If you're in an Asian country and you murder somebody, you kill somebody without justification to your Christian values, they're doing something which is sinful, even if their culture says it's okay, correct?
No, I don't agree with
What? So if their culture says it's okay to murder, it's not sinful?
No, sorry. You're like losing me in this like whole
Okay,
thought
well
process here.
then just engage with the question. What you're doing is trying to anticipate what you think I'm going to say. Don't do that. Just answer the question. In a culture where it's okay to murder, the Aztecs, for instance, they take you up on a pyramid, they cut your heart out, right, and give it to their sun god.
Yeah.
Even if culturally that's okay, you would say that ethically that is incorrect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if that is the case, when you say, okay, it's culturally okay to bow, you're also saying, but it's not sinful to bow. You're not saying that they shouldn't bow because it's sinful, right?
Right. Because
Okay,
there's
so
nothing
then if that is the
inherently-
case, then bowing in and of itself is not sinful.
Yeah, I would agree bowing in and of itself is not sinful. For
Then what's wrong with
me,
bowing to your
and-
husband?
Well, because if I'm talking about personally for myself, I view in my own culture and my own tradition, I view bowing, like I myself reserve that only for the Lord. So if
Yeah, but
someone,
is it sinful?
inherently, no. I don't think it's
Okay, well
inherently
then
sinful.
I don't understand the objection. If it's not
Because-
sinful inherently, it's no problem inherently, and your husband asks you as a sign of respect to bow to him, what is the actual objection other than you just don't want to?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. That is my objection, is that, and to me, in my own view, that it is sinful for me to bow to another man. In
No.
someone else's view.
That so you just
You can have
you just
sin
fucked
that
the
is
whole thing
just
up.
for yourself.
How
Yes,
is
you
it?
can. If
Wait,
God
no,
asks you
that
to do
makes no
something and you
sense.
don't
That
do
makes no
it,
sense.
yes,
How
you
could it
can.
be sinful from your perspective to do this thing? How's that sinful?
Because there's a verse that says in James that he who knows what to do but does not do it, to him it is a sin. And so to me, and my own personal convictions, like I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to bow to someone else that's not God. And someone else's
Yeah, appropriate,
culture.
I can see. I can concede to appropriate. If you feel like it's not appropriate to do, I can deal with that. But that's not what you said. You said, personally, you feel it's sinful. And yet, if you say bowing is inherently not sinful, then what is the sin if you bow to your husband? I don't get that.
I'm telling you, there's a verse in the Bible that says that if you know that God wants you to do something and you do not do it, then to that person it is a sin. If I know God wants me to go tell this homeless person or to go give this homeless person $10 in the street and I don't go do it, I have committed a sin against God. That is what
Are
I'm
you saying
talking
that God doesn't want you to bow to your husband?
For me, yeah.
Is it not in your vows
Okay, well, how
to
do you-
obey
wait,
and
wait.
respect?
No,
your
no, I
husband?
can't. I'm sorry. I got to
respect
finish
and
this real
submit
quick.
to my husband in my
When
vows,
you
yeah.
say for me, so you're saying God told you not to bow to your husband?
Yeah, God told me only to bow to him.
Yeah, when?
We're in the same culture, so would it be a sin if I bowed down to my husband in your eyes?
Yeah, I just want to know, when did God tell you not to bow to your husband? When was that conversation had?
Oh, well, when I read the book of Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego weren't bowing down to the big idol that King Nebuchadnezzar made.
That's not
And-
an idol. Your husband's not an idol. You're not worshiping your husband like you worship God. You're submitting as you would unto God.
Yeah, and for me, in my past sinful, when I was in unrepentant, blatant sin, I worshipped the person that I was with like an idol. And so for me, I'm
Yeah, but that's
really
not
careful
worship. How is a bow a worship? That's not worshiping.
because I bow before the Lord, and that is the only person I will bow down before. And so for me, I
Why?
won't
That
bow-
makes no sense. So if you bow to a king in Europe, that's sinful?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Oh, so does the Bible, has God made kings elect? Has he given nations kings?
I'm not saying that it is inherently sinful for every person to sin. I personally feel convicted.
It's not
that if I
sinful for
bow
every person
another-
to sin. Really?
I'm talking about specifically for bowing, for this specific thing. I will not bow before any other man besides God. I get what you're saying, and that it's not written in the Bible.
Yeah, but I don't
do
get
not
what
bow
you're saying.
Well,
I don't understand the rationale here.
I'm trying to explain to you my own personal convictions. You don't understand the difference between personal convictions and inherent sin. That's
Yeah,
written
but
down.
your personal convictions are supposed to map onto Christian ethics. And if you say there's nothing unethical for a Christian to bow to somebody or to bow to their husband if they choose to bow to their husband, then
Because I
you
think so
then
that-
stated your secondary objection is the reason I don't is because God told me these are two very bold claims. The first is saying this is not sinful, but for some reason for you it's sinful. And that's what I don't understand.
Because personal convictions are a different thing than like what is written in the Bible of what is inherently sinful. And I get what you're saying, but
yeah, but you can't have a personal conviction that God told you to like go suck a random stranger's dick,
no,
right? You couldn't have that
can't have
conviction.
that.
Why
Because
couldn't you
there's
have
a
that
baseline.
conviction?
Because there's a baseline of what is sin.
You're
I'm
right.
not
There's a
saying-
baseline, so it
Yeah.
has to be inherently sinful also, right? And if you say it's not inherently sinful, then why did God convict you personally? You're the only person he convicted to not bow?
I don't know of what other people's convictions are, but what I'm more like in my
We're talking about
opinion
your
on-
convictions.
Yeah, I'm talking about my convictions here. And because I have a tendency to worship people that I'm in a relationship with, I don't feel comfortable bowing to that person. I don't think that's appropriate for me to engage in because
Yeah,
I feel
appropriate's different than sinful, though.
Okay.
What would make it sinful?
I'm not saying, I'm saying for me, I would feel like I'm going against God if I did this. For another person, like Laura over here, if she wanted to do that for her husband, I'm not saying that's
As a
sinful.
Christian, you get married in the church, right? And then the priest say to obey and to respect your husband.
Yeah, of course.
So if your husband asked you to bow, to obey him, and you wouldn't, that's a sin, right? Because you took a vow.
Not necessarily, because my husband would know my convictions and like.
But you
would
took a
not
vow
ask
in
me to
church
sin.
in front of God to obey.
Hey, keep on
and
saying
respect.
this bizarre my convictions thing, right? So your convictions are still going to have to be inherently or non-inherently
There would have to be within
sinful.
the Bible.
They're going to have to be. They're going to have to be sinful. How would you, if you went home tomorrow and you're like, "Hi, sweetheart, I just wanted to show you this sign of respect," and bow to him? How in the fuck would that ever be sinful?
It's not inherently sinful. That's what I'm agreeing with you. That's why I'm not saying that no one can ever.
But I mean,
do
even
this.
from your view of conviction, how would that be sinful?
And you promise the church
Because
to
it's
obey and
setting up
respect.
my heart posture to worship somebody else. That's what I'm saying. Is that
How are
like,
you worshiping them?
because like this is like my natural proclivity, my natural tendencies, and so I'm guarding my own heart by not bowing to this person.
So anything you bow to, you worship? Like you can't help yourself? You're just like,
No,
I have an
I'm
addiction
talking
to
about
worshiping that which I bow to? Or
How often do you bow to things? I'm talking specifically about to my husband. Like that's what I'm specifically referencing.
yeah, I'm still lost actually. I don't really understand why you bowing to your husband, even if you had some conviction that you did not want to worship your husband as God, which is totally fair. I don't understand why it would mean if you did bow to him, you would be worshiping him,
It
even if you
doesn't
were
mean
convicted
that.
not
I
to
just
worship
wouldn't
him.
do it because it's my heart posture. It's like affecting the way that I view this person. That's why I wouldn't do it. You asked why I wouldn't do it, and that's the reason. It affects the way
Yeah, but I mean,
view
it
a
has to
person.
comply with reason and also the ethics which you follow. So it's like just saying, well, because it's my preference, like that's fine. But let me just ask you this: if you went home tomorrow and you bowed to your husband, would you start worshiping him? Would that be
No.
like an immediate thing? or-
No, but I wouldn't. It's not something I would make as a part of my everyday life where he comes home and I bow to him the second he walks in through the house every single
Yeah,
day.
but why would that? I still don't understand why that would necessitate you would need to worship him. I don't get that.
If I
part.
was doing that every day, I think that would kind of like trigger like almost like Pavlov's dog's effect in my mind of here comes home this person, I'm waiting for him to come home and I'm serving him and I'm worshiping him like every
You
single
mean
day.
well, wait, serving him.
Well, serving
you're
him's
showing
fine,
respect to
but
him.
I'm
You
more
adore
talking
him. You
about-
love him. How is that
Yeah.
worshiping him though? I don't get that.
I'm talking about specifically bowing. That's what I'm specifically.
Yeah, I'm talking specifically about bowing too.
Andrew, do you have a lint roller, please?
Yeah, I do.
Andrew.
I just wanted to trigger
Oh, no.
that OCD a little bit.
Wait, are we gonna do a Rachel cameo? By the way, I think.
Yeah, we'll bring Rachel down.
Okay. Does she have that pink, the pink neon pink sweatshirt?
Yeah, I'll get her. We'll switch chairs here for a few.
Yeah. Now,